I seem to have ruffled some feathers, so let's talk about it. Welcome back to the channel. Tune in or go stout. It shocked a lot of people to hear somebody who's playing Call of Duty and talking about politics and not being an extreme far-right activist. If you're new to this channel and came purely from the why people defend systems that fail them video, let me address my beliefs and political affiliation so there's no confusion on who you're watching. I will just tell you directly that I do not support the current president.
I love the poorly educated.
I don't support what his movement has turned into.
I love the poorly educated.
And I absolutely detest the persecution of intelligence in this country.
I love the poorly educated.
I made a video talking about useful idiots, people who are used as cannon fodder to push an ideology that is not pro them or any of the things that they truly value. I used a black man pushing for the Nazis as an example of this. Instead of addressing the points that I made in the video, people just fall back to saying, well, do you think America were the good guys in World War II? And doing the same revisionist history as I called in the video. The number one sign of anti-intellectualism is the fact that instead of addressing points, you throw out whataboutisms or comparisons. And you just be intellectually dishonest about the conversation that is being had. So, to address my political affiliation, I am certainly left-leaning, but I do not identify with the Democratic Party because they do not hold my values. If you wonder why I do not support the Democratic Party, I have made a video about this. The lobby is entirely lobbied to hell. We can sit there and say it's APAC, which they do give a lot of money to both parties, but there is just a problem with corporate money going into the government that is prevalent on both sides. But if you do decide to go to those extremes, at least be well researched. Stop twisting what happened and fight the battles of today, not yesterday. If me being a left-leaning commentator is the reason that you unsubscribe, go ahead. I do not believe in controlling your thoughts, unlike the other side does. The far right, the side that is literally keeping you dumber by the day so you don't look at the information. The same side telling you to deny science, reality, college, books.
I love the poorly educated.
And is literally paving the way for an AI government. While the state of the nation is in a very tough spot, people feel as if they're getting poorer, opportunity is fleeing from everybody, you have one party, the Democrats, offering no real solution. While the other party, the Republicans, literally are telling us to go back in time and actually making that reality come true. And this has been true for most of the political life of America. We can look back to McCarthyism and the Red Scare, how the Republicans pushed to take striking rights away from workers, how the Republicans pushed to demonize social safety nets for workers, how Republicans have made unions weaker and continue to do so today. But none of that really holds up to the idea that, oh, well, democracy is just a terrible idea and we have to get rid of capitalists to do anything, right? You're pushing so hard for a civil war that you don't actually see the problem. The same people in 2016 saying that we need free speech are the ones actively fighting against it today. You can choose to view the problems of America as just race or faith-based, and that would be dumbing down an issue that has plagued this country for so long. Instead of trying to make a better country for everybody is equally feeling screwed right now. You are telling black people, Asian people, minority groups, women that they don't deserve to have the freedoms that they do, and everything that's happened post-World War II is a mistake. And then you're surprised why people cannot support what you support. You had me in the first half, and then you lost me, little bro. I can agree that the banks are the problem. I can go back and look at the creation of the Federal Reserve and say, hey, there's something not right about this. I can acknowledge that being off the gold standard was not a genius idea, but I can also acknowledge that 10 out of the 11 recessions in this country between the 50s to now were created by the Republicans.
And it just seems that the economy does better under the Democrats than the Republicans.
And that the ideals of the conservative party would have never had America move forward from the past. If you think that I should have never had rights, you can think that. But now that I have them, I can actively use them to fight for myself, and I'm going to. I don't want to live in a nation that takes more rights away. I don't want to go back to a time where it was good for you and not me. My goal, my dream ideal is for every group in this country to succeed. But that is an ideal. And I know that that's not realistic, especially overnight. And the only way I see us bringing that reality to life is helping the worker. So much damage has been done to the worker rights, but people don't know about it. People don't know about McCarthy and the Red Scare. People don't know about Huey Long and how his political ideology was able to unite people, even in times that were more divisive than this. Every man a king. This went on to inspire the Second New Deal, which pulled more Americans out of the Great Depression than anything else a Republican ever did in that time. People discount how bad Herbert Hoover is, even though the things that Herbert Hoover's presidency was defined defined by are being recreated today. A crazy stance against relief, a reluctance to help the American worker, the use of pressure on businesses to not be greedy instead of creating an economic landscape that is conducive to progress, and the stupid belief that retaliatory tariffs are actually good for our country. You can disagree with everything I say, but if you do not bring points and rebuttals, then there's no point of sitting on a high horse and telling me that I don't have access to all this secret information that you have found somehow. Instead of always trying to dunk on the liberals, how about dunk on the president that's in bed with AIPAC, Netanyahu and Jeffrey Epstein's best friend? How about hold the same standards you hold for the Democrat Party for your own party? It's crazy that I have to acknowledge how bad Joe is for the country, but then I'm not allowed to say anything about Trump. And after his party got him elected, all of a sudden, well, yeah, no, he's not really representing our views. Both parties put bad people into place, and when it starts going bad, they automatically jump ship. They don't jump ship to the side of the worker, they jump ship back to their extremes. Biden isn't progressive enough. Trump isn't far right enough. How about focus on the economy? How about making an economy that flourishes so much the opportunity just can't be missed by everybody? Am I flawed for thinking that everybody can make it, or are you flawed for thinking that we should make sure not everybody makes it? I think I'll make my stance clear. We can play this game of Democrat and Republican and just be at the same place that we've been at forever. Or we can get actual politicians that stand up for what the people want at all times and not just times of economic hardship. Stop putting the American people in a place where they have to choose the lesser of two evils. I think both political parties are playing a very dangerous game. If there's any hope of getting the bankers out of the politics that affect real Americans, then you have to understand that both parties are controlled opposition. If you do not believe me, look at the business plot. When in 1933, JP Morgan Chase and a handful of other banks appointed a fascist to overthrow Franklin D. Roosevelt, the person that they wanted to install or floated the idea of installing, Smedley Butler, a great American general and a patriot to the heart, exposed the plot that these bankers were trying to overthrow the current American president and install in a dictatorship. If you want to go deeper into that rabbit hole, I highly suggest that you do. You'll find even more shocking news about it, especially about Prescott Bush, the grandfather to George W.H. Bush, our president during 2000 and 2004. Really eye-opening stuff. It shows you how the ruling class, the bankers, the people with the money will go to extreme lengths to maintain power. Even if they put fascism into place, they won't be the ones hurt by it. They will just go somewhere else and enjoy their money. But the targeted classes of people who are left in the fire to burn will face endless persecution and be second rate to the people who are in control. Is our system perfect? No. But tearing down this system just to go back to an old school of thought doesn't make sense to me. We all know the saying that he who does not know history is doomed to repeat it, and this is a great example of that. And I know I'm not alone in this feeling. Even though I do feel like that a lot of the times, most Americans don't even participate in the political system. This is only to the benefit of people who want to use it for their own good. One thing that I do agree with people that are on the far right is that this country doesn't really know anything about its political history. We have embodied a spirit of being blind to things and not finding out. Many people view this lack in participation as a reason to take your abilities to participate away. But when it comes time to cast that vote, they prey on the most unknowing person. You can't have it both ways. While the Republicans argue and decide if they're going to lean into the far right ideology taking over on that side, this will open a door for Democrats. Just like Trump was somehow an issuing of a new energetic tide to the Republicans, somebody will come along on the other side. They will revitalize that party just like Trump did his. Because these things have happened before. The party in favor currently does not stay the party in favor forever. The pendulum swings, and when it does, real questions will have to be answered. To enter this promised new age that people are talking about is coming, real painful questions have to be addressed. People will attempt to get the answer from AI, but the tempers will just be as flared. There's very easy ways to fix the problems going on in America now. The unemployment rate amongst men, I'm in that category myself, is a problem that can be fixed, but we have to choose people over profits. If you discount socialism and communism, then you at least have to stand for fair pay, wage increases, and some form of legislation that is pro-you, pro the worker over time, because the issue has never been that the person in the construction field gets paid too much. It has repeatedly been banks play with your money, they lose your money, and then we pay the prices of them losing our money because there's no restrictions on what they can do with our money.
I got a $100 check from my grandma, and my dad said I need to put it in the bank so it can grow over the years.
Well, that's fantastic. A really smart decision, young man. We can put that check in a money market mutual fund. Then we'll reinvest the earnings into foreign currency accounts with compounding interest, and it's gone.
What?
It's gone. It's all gone.
What's all gone?
The money in your account. It didn't do too well. It's gone.
People in government have offered regulation and have offered some social safety net and have even tightened the rules of the financing sector several times. But for some reason, we always have people that are lobbying to go back and rewrite the rules, setting up the pathway for the next recession. What is going on now is no different than what goes on every couple of years. Instead of foaming and drooling at the mouth at the downfall of this system, I will continue to look at changes that can be made to keep people alive, because if this system falls, if this civil war that people are calling for happens, the outcomes are not positive for anybody. When those calls are made, you will not be on the side that you think you are. Unless you work for Palantir or are a member of the government currently, buddy, you're cooked. You're cooked. So I hope I made my stance clear. If this is the last video you ever watch on my page, I hope it was worth watching. I do not advocate for anyone to be opinionless. You should be thinking for yourself, or you should have ideas flowing through your brain. The rise of politics and conversation can be used as a tool of bad or good. I think right now it has not been used for the best things, but it has exposed a lot of dark things that many people try to turn a blind eye to. What we do with this knowledge will really determine where we end up, but I have faith in the American people. As crazy as it is, as much as this video seems like I do have faith in the American people. We just need to have a conversation and stop typing into a chat box. But what do I know? I am just an unemployed gamer playing Call of Duty and sharing my opinion. If you agree or disagree with anything I said in this video, drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Agree, disagree. I do read the comments. I probably have said a lot of words or something that probably won't get this video pushed out. So if you do comment, let's have an actual conversation. And if you made it this far, go ahead, like and subscribe to join the thread. And with that being said, thank you for tuning in. Until next time.
Transmission complete. Signal terminating. This is Ghostthread, signing off.